Recording in progress.
Fine. So, so we discussed the last class, what you call a scanner class we talked about. So where the scanner class is available for me into the util package. If I want to use this scanner class, I have to write import java.util.scanner class on top, and then so I'll be making use of it. As I said you that the scanner class is helpful for me to read the inputs from the user. So whenever I want to read, I want to get some data from the user, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scanner class I'm going to use. But remember, the scanner class, it takes some argument, some data it takes for me. So you need to tell from where the data you have to read. So that means you want to read the data from the keyboard, you want to read it, or you want to read the data from some other device you want to read. So when I say some other device or some other source I want to read. Now when I say some other source, now here I'm giving the source as system.in. So when I say system.in is associated with the device called the keyboard. So if I want to get the data from the source called the keyboard, then for the scanner class, I'll be passing system.in as the argument. So remember, system is also one more class there in your Java. So where the in is an object, or it is the object which is associated with the device called the keyboard. Now then what I will do is, whenever I want to read the data from the keyboard, then I'll be passing system.in as the argument to my scanner class. Okay, or let us say that you want to read the data from a file, so you have to give that file as an argument over there. So that we'll be discussing little later. Okay, how to read the data from the file using the scanner class, that we'll discuss later. So right now we'll be discussing only about how to read the data from the keyboard. Okay, so this is the example which you have taken. The last class we took this example. So where I want to read a number from the user and I want to print the I want to print the odd numbers or even number based upon the choice of the user. If the user is going to give a choice of 1, then we'll print the odd numbers. If the user is giving a choice of 0, we'll be printing the even numbers like that. So this is what the program we wrote. Okay. Then I asked you to solve this assignment program. So where I wanted you to read the marks in 3 subjects, and then I want to print the total and average has to be printed. So I hope you have done this. Okay, any questions from the previous class? Argument means the data that you are giving for the function, it's called the argument. Okay, let us start a new program and start. I'll explain you once again so that you people can understand much better. I'll start a new Java class, I'm starting it. Okay, when I'm going to create the class, so it'll ask me the package name. Right now, I'm not going to tell you anything about the package. Okay, we'll tell you about the package little later, we'll talk about. So I want to define a class called read marks. Okay, we'll take the example what I have given you the assignment, right? So yesterday what the assignment was given, that will same thing we'll take now. Okay, so what I did is, so I have created the project yesterday when we have created the project. In the same project, I'm giving a right click. So this is the project we have created yesterday. So I'll give a right click on this one. Then I'm selecting new. Then I'm selecting the option called class there. New class I'm selecting. So in the new class, I'm not giving the package name. So I'm not talking about the package right now. So I want to create a class called read marks. So what I'm doing is, when I'm going to create the class, I'm going to give capital letter as my starting class name. The name I'm giving to the capital letter. Then in case if my class name consists of more than one word, then what I'm doing, again, I'm using a capital letter. For example, read marks, it's a 2 words for me. So what I'm doing, first I'm using read as a capital letter R, then marks, M I'm using as a capital letter. Okay, then, so in this class, what I'm going to create, I want to have main method should be there. So for that one, I'll select this option what we call main method. Select this main method. Okay, then I'll click finish. Okay, so once you say finish, you see that so it is going to, the class is going to be created for you. It's generating the class now. Okay, now we said we want to write a program now. So we want to write a program to read the marks in 3 subjects and print the, okay. So I want to read, then calculate and print the total average. Okay, so I want to read the marks. So first I'll create the object from the scanner class so that it will help me to read the data from the user. Scanner class, some object you'll be using it. SSC I have taken, it's equal to new. This is how you're going to create the objects. So whenever you're going to create an object from the class, you have to use a keyword called new. So when I'm using the keyword called new, then it is going to allocate the memory for the class there. Then, so I want to write system. So S is a capital letter here. System dot in I'm writing. Okay, as soon as I type here system scanner class, you see that there is a red wavy line under this. So why that wavy line means because it says there is something wrong with the scanner. Now, if I place my mouse pointer over there, it is going to give me the information here. So there is something called import scanner class has to be done. Okay, so you need to use this command called import. Now click on this one, it will automatically quick fix for you, and then you see that it is going to add the import java.util.scanner, and then so you can make it so the scanner class can be used here. Okay, so we said we want to read the marks in 3 subjects. So I'll say system dot out dot print. So I want to read the marks in 3 subjects, right? First mark I'll ask them to enter the marks in. So enter marks in. So first subject, okay, let us say SUB1, I'm giving the name. Okay, I want to read the marks. So I'll take the M1 variable. I'll take a variable called M1, which is equal to the SC object dot. So we have a method called nextInt method is there, which will help me to read the integer value. So this is the first subject. So I want to read one more subject marks I want to read. I'll just copy this, same thing. So enter the marks in subject 2 I want to have. So I want to have just a colon symbol between the message and the data. So now M1 I cannot use the same variable again. I'll be using a variable called M2. Okay, I want to read the marks in third subject now I want. So I'll say enter the marks in subject 3. Okay, so here I'll take M3 I will take. So I want to find out the total marks. So for the total marks, I'll say total is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3 I'm writing. Then I want to find the average. Sorry, total variable has to be declared. I'll take int total. Okay. Then so I'm taking my average has to be created. I mean variable has to be defined. So I take the double variable avg. Okay, is equal to total by number of subjects. I'm having 3 subjects are there, so I'm dividing it by 3 there. So it's now I want to print onto the screen total and average. I want to print system.out.println I'm using. Okay, so we have both print method is there as well as println method is there. So what is the difference between print and println means? Print, it just prints a message onto the screen, whereas when I'm using println, it prints a message and moves the cursor to the next line. If I'm using 2 consecutive prints, I'm using it, both will be printing for me in the same line. So if I'm using one println, if I'm using it, the first one I'm using println, then what will happen? Both will be printed on 2 separate lines that will be printing it. Okay. Okay. Then I want to print the total and average. I want to print. So I want to say total is equal to, so plus TOT variable I'm using, plus average also I want to print. So I'll use the average is equal to plus AVG I'm writing. Okay. So I want to print both average and total I want to print. So then what I'm doing, I'm printing both using only one command I'm using it. Okay, println total, then average I'm printing, both I'm printing. I want to execute my code, just click on this play button or what you call the run button. Okay, I call it as a play button there. So just I click on this one You see that it starts executing your program, then it will ask me the marks. So for example, I'm giving first subject is 60, 7, second is 70, third is 80 I'm giving. Now see, it is going to calculate the total and it's going to give me the average there. Okay, so total it has given me 210 it is. So 60, how much is it okay? That is okay for me. So it's 130 and 80 is going to be 210 it is. So you see the output is going to be given. Understood? Now let us say once again we run the code. So if you run the code again, so it will ask me some other values. It will ask me. I can give some other values. Okay. So you see it's going to print me the values. So based upon what the values you are going to give it, what I'm doing, I want to get the data from the user. To get the data from the user, so I have used the scanner class. I'm using it, and for the scanner class, I'm giving this one as my data. So this is what you call the argument. You call it as, or you call it as the parameters for the function itself. It is the parameters, or it is called the arguments. The data that we are giving, it is called the arguments, or what we call them as the parameters. We call them. Understood? Okay. So for example, you are writing this one. You're opening the parenthesis for the print, and then you're giving something. That is also called the arguments, or it is called the data there. Okay. Now, this what we have done is we have used the print ln we have used. I'll use a new class. So we have used the print ln here. We also can make use of what printf can also be used. Now we'll talk about the another method of doing things. We can also use the printf method can be used. Okay. So how do I use this printf method means, what is the syntax for this one? Syntax means how to use that particular command is what you call syntax. So how to use this particular command, syntax of this one is, you'll be writing printf, open the, sorry, not directly printf, sorry for that. So it is system dot out dot printf, open the parenthesis, you'll be giving the format. Okay, what you call the format string, will be giving it, then comma, you'll be giving the args, what you call arguments. Okay, I'll be giving the arguments. So first I need to use the format string followed with the arguments. So for example, we want to print the, just a message you want to print on screen. Example, let us say to print a message, I just simply want to print a message onto my screen. Then what we'll be doing, we'll be writing system dot out dot printf, open the parenthesis, double quotes. Okay, let us say you want to give the message hello world message, you want to give it. Simply you can say hello world. Simple message you want to print. Okay, in case you want to print a number, okay, of the type integer. So let us say that you are having a variable a is there whose value is 100. This value you want to print. Then what you can do, you can write system dot out dot printf, open the parenthesis. Now you have to give the format there. Percentage D format will be using it, comma A will be writing it. So when I say like this, what will happen, instead of percentage D, it will be replacing the value of the variable called A there. So why I am using that percentage D format is for the integer. So if you are using an integer variable, then I have to use the format called percentage D. If I'm using a float variable, then I'm supposed to use the format percentage F. For double, we'll be using percentage F only, will be using it for double also. Okay. Now, in case, let us say there is a string data is there, set of characters is there, then you'll use the format percentage S will be using it. Okay. For example, let us say you are having some string name is there. So let's say some name is there. Now I want to print that name. Okay. So then, so what we do, so I'll be writing system.out.print. Okay, let us say I say my name is, I want to print the name there. So I'll use a format percentage. Yes, I'll be using it. Then what is the variable? So I've taken a variable called nm there. Okay, so what will happen now here? It prints the value of the variable called nm in the percentage yes place. Instead of using this percentage, it will not print the percentage yes onto the screen, but it will be printing the variable value. What the variable you are using it, that will be printing it. Understood? Like that. Okay. So we are done this one using print. We have used it. Now let us see how to work the printf I want to use. So if I want to use printf, then total marks is equal to, so everything, so there is no confusion like thing like where I have to open my double quotes, where I have to close my double quotes. That kind of confusion will not be there with the printf. So I'm writing printf total is equal to percentage d, and then average is equal to percentage f. I'm writing. Now use comma there, then tot comma avg. I'm writing. So let's run. Now it will ask me the marks in first subject, second subject, third subject. Now you see it's going to print me the total average. So this is better to understand. Okay. So this is better to understand compared to the other one. I'm having this one and I'm having this one. See, in this one, I'm opening double quotes here, I'm closing double quotes here, in between I'm placing plus symbol. So I feel instead of this one, this is easy to understand. So because we are just using percentage D, percentage F, we are giving it. Everything is there in the double quotes for me. So whereas here, so we are opening the double quotes here, we are closing here, then we are using plus, then we are opening the double quotes. Okay, closing the double quotes. Outside the double quotes, we have to place the plus symbol, we have to use, and then we have to use a variable. All that you have to do it. So instead of using that method, so what you can do is you can follow the printf method can be followed. Okay, or whichever you feel it's an easy for you to follow, then you can follow it. Right. So either if you feel printf is easy for me to understand, yes, you follow the printf. Or if you feel that no sir, println is easy, println is easy for me to follow, you can follow that method. Okay. So I had shown you both the methods. So how we can make use of them, you can try it out. Understood? Getting it? Okay. Any questions over here? We'll discuss. Yesterday's assignment, we'll discuss about the assignment. So any questions from here? Any questions here? The simple thing. So that we are discussing about reading the marks and we are going to print the total and average. So any questions here? Anything that you are not understood? Okay, Azhar, any questions?
What is the difference between the class and public class? Why should we use public?
Okay. The basic question that is you are asking is me that why I'm supposed to write the public class. So actually the class public, it is called the access modifier. We call it a public is called the access modifier. We'll discuss what is this access modifier. So time being, so if I'm writing public class, so then it becomes mandatory for me to match my class name. So this is my class name. And then your file name should be same if I'm writing it as public class. So right now you understand that when I'm going to write the public class name, if I'm writing, then the class name and the file name. What is the file name we give? Read marks I have given it. Both must be same. Okay, if I'm writing public class, the class name and file name should be same if I'm going to write the public class name. So if I'm not using public, okay, if I'm not using public, okay, then I'm not, okay, before that, okay, let me use the public class only. So I'll just give the name of the class as R marks, I'm giving it. Okay, see, immediately it is changing the message, is giving what? There is a red underline, I mean line is there for me, red baby line is going to be there. Okay, it's going to tell me that there is something mistake. So what is the mistake? It says what? The public class must be in its own file. So the class name and the file name must be same. Okay, now let us say I'm not using the public class. Okay, so timing, I just remove the public, I'm just writing class. Now you see the same error message is not there for me. That message I'm not getting it. I'm not getting any message there. Understood? So if I'm not writing public class, then any class can be placed into any file. If I'm writing the public, then it must be placed in the same file. In Java, the convention, we follow the convention. Okay, is what file name and class name both will be matching for us in the Java conventions. Oh, it becomes mandatory for you if I'm writing the public class. Understood? If I'm writing public class, then it becomes mandatory for you to match the class name and file name should be same. Okay, getting it? So let us not worry about more about the public part now. So we'll discuss about the public little later. We'll talk about, okay, at the time of discussion of packages and all. So once we are going to talk about the access modifiers, we'll discuss more on that one. Okay. So as the word says public means what? It is open to all. The word public says what? It is open to all, right? Like that, if I'm defining a class called public, it means the class can be accessed outside your package. So as we don't know these concepts called the package concepts and all this, so I'm not discussing more on that one. What is meant by package means package is a set of classes we are placed in a folder. We'll have a folder. In the folder, we'll be putting some classes. That is called a package. If I want to access that particular class outside the package, then it must be defined as public class. If I'm not defining it as a public class, then it cannot be accessed outside the package. We'll discuss what did that mean by accessing it outside the package, how to access it, all that, what is a package, all these things we'll discuss. Once again, we'll discuss them. Okay, just because we have a question on that, we are just discussing that. Okay, we'll discuss more on this. That is an elaborate discussion. We'll have it at the later part of the course. Right? You understood that? So I can just run my code here. Just click on this. It executes your code. Okay. So what is it says? So you're going to have a class called public class. So it says that the class does not exist. So I'll just make it as only my read class. Okay, done it is. It is executing for me. So the class name. So I'm getting it. Done. Okay. I'll run again. So I'm giving 10, 10, 11. So what should be the output total? I'm giving the easy values so that the calculation can be easy for me. 31 should be my total. Average should be 31 divided by 3 is going to be 10.1. 10 point something should come, but 10 point something should come, right? But I'm not getting 10 point something. I'm getting only 10. I'm getting it. Why? Any idea? Right. So what is happening is, so in your Java, what happens? I'm dividing total. Total is what? It's an integer data type. 3 is what? It's also an integer for me. So integer, when you divide it by an integer, the result is only an integer for me. Okay. The resultant data type or the result of the expression is going to be only integer for me. Able to understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So what we are doing is we are dividing an integer by integer. The result of this expression is only integer for me. So why you see that the output is what? 10 point something only. It is not 10.3. You would understand what I'm telling. So I'm dividing 10 by 3. So the result is only 3 for me. Understood? Whereas in our Java, what we can do is, I'm having an integer value, you divide it by a float, okay, right? I'm just making this one as, okay, let me use this 3 only, 3.0, right? That means I'm dividing an integer by a double value, okay? Then here the output is, the result of this expression is only double. So which means I'm dividing 10 by 3.0. So what should be my output? 3.33, something 3.33 it keeps on. Okay, it is 3.333. Understood that? The result of the expression is very important for us. Based upon what the operands are there in my expression, okay, based on that, the output is going to come. The data type of the operand is important for me. If both are integer, or I'm having one among them is a float, or one among them is a double. So based on that, the output will also change for me. Now let us see that example. So now instead of writing this, I'll make it as 3.0. So that is, it is by, remember in your Java, by default, the number of the decimal point is considered to be float. Okay. Now let us see this output. Now again, we'll see the same output. What the output we are seeing. The previous example, I'll just say 10, 10, 11 I'm giving. Now you see the output is 10.333 I'm getting the output. So earlier we got the result as 10.0 we got. The same thing, we made small change to make the, to the expression we have made a small change. So 10 by 3.0 I have taken. When I take 10.3, 10 by 3.0 I have taken, I'm getting the answer as, okay, 3.333, like that. Here I'm going to give the answer as total by 3, I'll give 3.0 I have taken. Now I'm getting the answer in float, sorry, in double I'm getting it. Okay, by default it is considered to be float there. Okay, so for example, let us say I'm writing it as float here, right? I'm writing it as float there, and I'm writing the 3.0. You'll see that there is an exception. I mean, the error will be getting for me. What is it except? I mean, error is going to show me. Okay, it says what you are trying to assign a float value to, sorry, you are trying to assign a double value to float. So what we said in our Java, 3.0 is considered to be double. So the double number is said to be an one which is having the higher precision. Double has the higher precision. So when I'm going to assign the value here, when I'm taking 10 by 3 there, so 3.0 when I take, it is double is having the higher precision. I'm trying to assign to data type is float. Float has the lesser precision. So that creates a problem for me. Then what I need to do is I have to use F there. So I have to use 3.0 F I have to put. When I put there 3.0 F, it means that you are telling that 3.0 don't consider it's a double data type. You consider that one as a float data type you are telling. So then what will happen? Automatically Java will not give you that error, will not be giving it for me. Now you see, I'll not get that error now. Okay, so earlier it was telling us that there is a problem with your data type conversion. There is a problem. Okay, because of 3.0. 3.0 is the number with the decimal point is considered to be float. Sorry, it is considered to be double. So if I'm going to use the double value, if I'm trying to assign to a float value has lesser precision compared to the double. So it's going to give me the error it will be giving us. Okay, like that. That you have to understand. So if I want to use the double, sorry, if I want to use it as float type, then I have to use it as percentage. Sorry, the F you have to use as a prefix, as I mean the suffix has to be used as F. Okay, like that. Understood? Clear now? What I said? What 3 is the motundi will get integer by integer will be getting the answer. We are only float. What is that? Oh, tot, okay. Which, where? Here, huh? So line number 15. So here you want to use percentage F. No problem. Check it out. What is going to happen? No. What's happening? What is happening? So you are trying to use a format which is illegal, it says. It's an illegal format. So where exactly you got that formatting errors? In line number 17. The formats that you are using is illegal. What is it? I'm trying to print an float. You would understand what we're telling? So we all are playing a match. So assume that we're playing a cricket match. I told you that we'll play a cricket match. Okay, I'm not giving you bat, anything I'm not giving. I'm giving a football for you. What do you think now? What do you think? Sir, you tell me what? You told us that you'll be playing the cricket, but you are given as a football. Something like that. So you are telling what to Java? I'll be giving you float value. You print this as a float value. But I'm giving what? An integer I'm giving it. I'm giving the integer. I'm asking you to print the as float. So it is giving me what? There is a number format exception. The format that you are going to give, it's an exception, it says that. Okay. I'm not getting what I'm expecting. What I told you, I am not getting that. Okay. So the same thing. So if I say percentage %d, I'm telling that I'll give you integer. I'm giving integer, you'll print that. I'm giving an integer. Okay. I told you that I'm telling Java that you will get integer. So that is percentage %d indicates what? Integer. You are giving an integer value. Java prints it for me. So I'm telling Java that I'll give you float, that is percentage %f, but I'm giving integer. So it says what? So what you are giving me, what I am getting it, both are mismatching. Understood? Getting it what I'm telling? You understand? Here I'm placing it as f now. Okay. Now when I execute, you see it says what? Illegal format now. The format exceptions we are going to get. So we are trying to print an we are giving the integer to print it as float type. So Java says what? No, the format is illegal, it says. How can you give? Okay, if you give percentage %d, it will not give any errors.
Percentage B, it is different to percentage B. Percentage B.
B,
B.
A, B.
B.
B, there is no format, right, called B there. We have the format B. So let us check what is there, no issues. So let us see what is there. What says? So it is printing as a Boolean value, it is printing for me. It is not printing the integer value, it is not printing. It is printing the Boolean value. Okay. So, but here I am going to have the integer. So we will be using the format percentage %d like this. Okay. Any other questions? I think the meeting has been closed. Okay, I'll stop the class here. I'll reconnect. Immediately you reconnect with the same ID. Okay, I'll stop now here. Format exceptions will be clear. Okay, I have to give percentage %d for the number, for the integers. Percentage %f, I'll be using it for the float, or double, I'll be using it. But if I'm not using that format, if I'm using some other format, if I'm using it, then it says that it's an illegal format exception, that what is expected and what you are giving, both are not matching. It tells that. Okay. Yeah. So any other questions are there? You understood how we are going to use the, how to use the scanner class, how to read the data from the keyboard. Okay. All that. Yeah. Yeah, face చేస్తున్నాం మనం. No problem. It will understand that and it prints for us. Percentage %d you cannot use there. Percentage %d stands for the integers, the decimal values it is called there.
That's a perfect divide integer print. 10.00 is print out. Suppose not a perfect fraction.
See, whatever it is not, I mean, what you can do is see one more thing is there. So I'm using 0.2f, I'm using it, okay? So let us see this. So I'm using 0.2f, I'm using it. So when I say 0.2f, what it means? It means that you are asking to print 2 digits only after the decimal point. Okay, so you're asking to print only 2 digits after the decimal point. Okay, so I'm using 0.2f there. So it means that you are asking to print 2 digits after the decimal point. Okay, by default, if you're not giving it, it prints me 6 digits. It will be printing it for me after the decimal point. Okay, like this. You can have them. You can use this. Different formats can also be used, right? Okay, so okay. So any other questions here? So regarding the scanner class, Dana? Okay, what we will do is, okay, you try to practice more and more examples from the if and from the this one, what you call loops and all. Okay, just I'll have small revision. I'll be making it on loops also. We'll have a revision. Okay, or we'll do one thing. So you just go through the videos. Okay, I'll stop the class here.